Well, Maine's two representatives in the U.S. House of Representatives, both Democrats, are on opposite sides of an issue some say will have a significant impact on the future of our elections. The Safeguard American Voter Eligibility, or SAVE Act, passed the House. And while it still faces hurdles before it can become law, there are already strong opinions about how it could impact Maine voters. News Center Maine's Ryan Wooten hears from those who say the act will save our election integrity and those who believe it will unfairly keep some people from casting their votes.
The Safeguard American Voter Eligibility, or SAVE Act, makes a standout promise, a vow to keep non-citizens out of American elections.
This would require you to prove that you are a citizen, but it would require that you have a passport.
Maine Congresswoman Shelley Pingree says she's concerned about what would be required for someone to register to vote under the SAVE Act.
State your address.
Instead of just having to show proof of identification, residence, and sometimes the last four of your social security number when registering to vote or renewing voter registration, the SAVE Act would require potential voters to show proof of citizenship by presenting a valid passport or other verifying documents like a birth certificate, with additional verification needed in some cases. Supporters of the SAVE Act say it will prevent non-citizens from voting in federal elections, something that is already illegal under current law. Maine representatives in Washington, D.C. were split on the House floor Thursday, with Representative Jared Golden voting in favor of the SAVE Act and Representative Shelley Pingree voting against it. Golden releasing a statement arguing that requiring people to prove citizenship when registering to vote is a simple way to ensure that American elections are exclusive to American people.
My concern is,
as for Representative Pingree, she says non-citizen voting is rare and nearly non-existent. She says this bill tries to solve a problem that simply isn't there.
you don't change public policy based on myths and lies. You do it to make sure you do the very best thing for our citizens.
People who support the SAVE Act say that it's going to protect elections in the U.S. What do you think it is?
It is a bill designed to restrict the number of people participating in elections so that politicians can choose their voters instead of voters choosing their politicians.
After seeing the bill pass with a 220 to 208 vote on the House floor in Washington, concerns back home in Maine are escalating.
Disproportionate.
Maine Secretary of State Shanna Bellows says if the SAVE Act passes the U.S. Senate, it will lead to voter disenfranchisement and low voter participation.
Moreover, Congress has not appropriated any money to help our local election clerks implement this law, and they're requiring a very fast timeline and have implemented criminal penalties for election officials who somehow are not able to implement that law.
Ryan Wooten, News Center, Maine.
We did reach out to Representative Jared Golden's office for a further comment today, did not hear back. The vote for the SAVE Act has not been scheduled in the Senate. However, Republican Senator Susan Collins' office tells us if it does get to the floor, she would likely vote for it. As for Senator Angus King, the independent, quote, has been a vocal opponent of the administration's attempt to restrict voting rights, end quote.